All right. We're live.
Hey.
We're live. Happy Christmas, Kiwi.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, man.
Yes. Look, Kiwi
Yeah.
came bearing gifts. He brought me a nice thing full of chocolate, right? Very thoughtful guy. I took care of Kiwi too. He got here early, so I didn't have a chance to wrap it.
You didn't get to
But
wrap
I wanted to give him something I
It
knew he
looks
could
familiar,
use.
but I'm not trying to think where I've seen it
It's
before.
called, yeah, you've seen that. Marvel Miss Royal. Yeah. But Merry Christmas, brother.
Cheers, bud.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Happy Christmas. Is that what you say in your...
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Yeah?
Merry
Okay.
Christmas, yeah. Yep.
Oh, what's this? New timeout lanes.
Oh.
Now you can put people in timeout for different... Okay, got it.
Oh.
That's for our mods.
Ah.
Yes. Okay, so Chargo Makaiska, Rust Bucket, Restos, what's
Mexican
happening?
spec,
Yes.
greasy garage, right.
Caballo Carburetor.
Diesel, Kiwis, lots of Kiwis.
Yes.
Yes. Bill McCosker. See, I actually remember how to say it now.
There you
I'm
go.
getting better.
Stable left. Josh H. Okay. Danny Boyd, I missed less than 1 minute. We can go back and start all over again. I got no problem with that. I got all night. Oh. Okay. I'm ready. You ready for questions, Kiwi?
Yeah, already. Look, Jay Smooth.
Boy, they just dive
Jay
right
is
in
Smooth.
there.
I'm not sure which one it is. Building my first motor. It's a 454. What's the biggest cam I can run without
Losing brake power.
without a stall converter and losing brake power? So he needs enough vacuum to run his power brakes and
the cam.
I'd have to defer to you on that one.
If you're not gonna go, the brakes, you can get away with a lot more in terms of operating a power brakes than you can with not having like a looser than stock converter. So I would limit what you're looking for at RV cams that are more intended for bottom end torque and towing and stuff like that, because the two go hand in hand, right? Like, the bigger the cam, the more stall you need, because what you're doing is when you're putting a bigger cam, generally speaking, when you're putting a bigger cam in, you're raising the RPM range on the motor. So by raising the RPM range on the motor, you're taking away from the bottom and giving it to the top, and that's why you need a converter. So if you want to stick with a stock converter, then keep your cam choices in the RV range. And David Koslek, thank you so much. Very generous.
Very generous. Merry Christmas to you too.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Bear Roses in the house.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Jeff Hutchins. Hey, bud. What else have we got?
Andy Mays. It's the legendary Andy Mays.
Yeah.
Do you know Andy? He's over here in Nolansville.
No.
He's a great guy. He builds transmissions.
Oh, okay.
We're going to do some stuff with him on the. Andy, I got to talk to you about things I'm discovering about the propane and the nitrous. But yeah, Andy and his son Cameron, they got a shop right over here.
Kiwi. Jason Fitch. Kiwi lost his bonnet. Yeah. No more beanie.
I tried to get him to take your place. Yeah.
But he wouldn't.
He wouldn't do it.
Job.
Yeah, no.
Mexican spec. Why was the Chevelle brought to you? Actually, that car belongs to my Matco tool guy, and he bought it recently, and he was a bit worried. Another guy, like he's dealing with mechanics and workshops all the time, but he still didn't get his car checked out before he bought it. He just, I guess he's not a dummy. He knows a little bit about cars, and he sells tools, mate.
So what kind of shape is the car in?
Pretty good. It's actually like rust-wise, it's excellent. It's as good as you get. It's supposed to be a factory SS 396. The 396 in transmission is gone.
Okay.
So it's got a Lingenfelter 454 in it.
Oh, okay.
And an automatic. Now, there's already been a couple of comments on the video saying that that's not a real SS, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know enough about the SS history to know exactly what an SS is and whether it's a clone or not.
Well, it'll be on the body tag.
Well, there's a VIN there, and he had it checked out, and he had some
it doesn't
Chevy
show up
experts.
in a VIN. It shows up on a body tag.
Right.
On a Mopar, it shows up on a VIN.
Right. Anyway, he's pretty happy that it is a real Chevelle. A couple of people have commented that it's not because it's got the wrong trim here and there, and I'm like, okay. He paid clone money for it because it's not really a true SS because it's got the wrong motor and trans. It was a 4-speed manual, now it's an auto.
Right.
So it's not. He didn't pay the real deal, full blown SS.
But still, a Lingenfelter rat is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, no, the thing I drove it.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it's sudden,
right?
It hauls
it's sudden.
ass. Yeah, it hauls ass. And so he just wanted me to throw it up in the air on the rack and have a look over and kind of reassure him that he hadn't bought a pup, because he's been watching my videos, and unfortunately we have more dogs come through than we have pedigrees come through.
Dude, we're succeeding in making everybody paranoid.
Well, there you go.
You know, our work here is done.
Yeah. So for my money, whether it's a real SS or not, you know, I don't know enough about that subject to get into arguments with guys over it.
It'll be on the body tag that's on the firewall. I don't know what the designation is, but I know that 50 people in here do.
Right. He had a neat little tag that came with the original warranty book, which is like a 3-page book, not a Bible like you get today. But it's a little like a little steel pressing, and it's reversed. And apparently they used it as a stamp when they were keeping service records.
Okay, yeah.
I'd never seen anything like that. And you actually put ink on. Apparently you rolled an ink thing across it, and you turned it upside down and pushed it down on wherever you wanted.
That was the Chevy version of the Chrysler Soda Card that they started in 1965, I think, 66.
It was
then
cool.
General Motors did it right afterwards.
I'd never seen anything like that. And apparently that matches everything else, and it's definitely an SS. So I don't know.
They had they used to run it through like a credit card. You remember the old credit card machines? You drop the credit card down and they swipe it back and forth. Yeah. So when they would do like the dealer paperwork, they'd use that tag, do that over it, so it was all. They didn't have to write it out.
And then you had that.
It looked impressive in 1969.
Oh, it was high tech. Yeah, high tech, exactly. So yeah, that was kind of. It's a good video. It's a good video. Mexican spec. Yeah, exactly. It went into one of those old credit card machines. Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going off what the owner of the car told me. So, as I said, Chevys aren't my area of expertise. But
Hannah, hello, Hannah. She has a question. Hi there. I've been looking at driving a classic car as a daily driver for a while. My only concern is where I live in Canada, the winter can be kind of rough. I want to try to stick to 50s, 60s cars. Suggestions? Yeah, you go first. Canada. So you got to keep that in mind. So you're going to be dealing with road salt and
well, you don't want to
not good conditions.
No, not good conditions for keeping your classic car nice either. Unfortunately, you probably don't want to invest a huge amount of money in one if you're going to drive it on the salt roads, because the salt road's going to eat it no matter what. You really can't get past that. I don't know. Just as a daily driver, just a basic old Mustang. I would say a V8 or a 6-cylinder.
I would stay away from 50s cars, not for any other reason than it's so much easier to work with 60s cars in like parts availability and like clubs and cults and everything else. So you buy a 50s car, and you've got like a small group of people and forums and stuff that you can pull knowledge and parts from. You go to the 60s cars, and it's a huge world of things. So I would stay with something in the 60s. I would stay with something probably mid-size, and any of the makes, right? It's not going to matter. So you have Ford Fairlane, Ford Fairlane, Plymouth Belvedere, a Chevelle, a Malibu, any of those mid-size cars, family-type mid-size cars, for a daily driver is going to be your best bet. And Ford knows you can buy dirt cheap. So, that's my advice.
Yeah, that's good advice. That's good advice.
I care about how.
But I do. You'll fall in love with your 60s car, and I just don't know whether you're going to want to have it eaten up by salt.
Well, there are things that you could spray under the car, and I don't mean like undercoating.
Right.
But there's like oil-based, or kerosene-based things you can spray underneath the car, and then it's just maintenance. It's just a matter of, let's say, once a year, really, right? You get underneath there when you're all done with the salty roads and bad weather. You get underneath there and you pressure wash everything, and then you squirt it all down with like a kerosene-based. Can't think of the name of it.
Like fish oil.
What's that?
Fish oil would be a good one, wouldn't it? The original old fish oil.
Possibly. I don't know.
I'm not sure that's a product that's available here or not. What do we got? 60 Nicholas Marino, 67 Mustang manual brakes, parked it on a large hill. Left spot went downhill.
No brakes.
No brakes. Master cylinder, wheel cylinder.
Could be either.
No,
probably not the master if you left a puddle. When the master goes, you'll never have a puddle.
Usually runs down inside the firewall, doesn't it?
Right.
Probably a wheel cylinder or a brake hose line.
Yeah.
somewhere there. I mean, yeah, it's probably hard to tell where the spot was under the car.
Yeah.
But, you can always pour some more brake fluid, like get it at home, get it in the garage wherever you're going to have it.
Yeah.
Put some brake fluid
If
in the
it's
master and pump it through and see where it comes out.
If it's, I mean, it's really easy. Okay, so if it's a wheel cylinder, the hose is going to be dry. If it's a hose, the wheel cylinder, the back of the wheel isn't going to be wet. So
Right.
it's like, you know, pretty easy deductive reasoning with that one. Wheelie King, my 71 Challenger RT is a clone as well, and I could care less. I enjoy it even more because the investment was small and I'm not afraid to drive it. Which is my case for clones all along. You know,
Yep.
There are some people who really they value the historic. You know what I mean? Okay, this is the actual sheet metal. I'm not one of those people. I like the car. I like the look of the car. I like the way the car feels, the way it makes me feel. Right? I like all that stuff, but I could really care less whether or not it was born that way. So,
right.
But I do like accuracy. Like if you're going to clone something, make it accurate. Make it that car.
Danny Boyd, I saw that comment about painting the inner fenders and firewall black. I assume you're talking about that Chevelle that I just did the video on.
Got to not do it on a Mopar. Ooh.
Yeah,
that's
well,
cardinal sin.
I like doing the engine bays on the Mustangs, like body color. But that Chevelle was red on the outside and red right through the engine bay, and it I don't know, it wasn't quite right.
No, that wouldn't be original.
Well, no, it's not original.
Yeah.
Someone's done that, but someone had built like an 80s or 90s hot rod out of it.
Okay.
Like lots of stuff on its chrome, like the hood release is chrome.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Everywhere you look, there's just random chrome. The coil springs on the hood are chrome.
Yeah, clearly back in that era, chroming was cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a hell of a price, and you really don't want to do chrome unless you absolutely have to.
Well, we had like the last real chrome shop here in Nashville.
Right.
Until I think recently.
Oh,
or are they still
advanced plating?
Yeah. Are they still around?
Yeah, they've moved. They're about an hour and a half north of here now. They burnt down. Unfortunately.
Oh, that's not good.
No, they burnt to the ground. A lot of stuff was lost. A lot of cast pot metal stuff.
Oh, that's right.
And stainless trim.
When did that happen?
Oh gosh, that'd be a couple of years ago now.
Okay.
But they're up and running again. They're doing well, but they're very high end. Most of their stuff comes from out of state.
Yeah, like years ago,
a bumper's $2,000 to get chrome.
Yeah. Years ago, I wanted to have some odds and ends chromed. And I remember back in the old days, it wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? Just some odds and ends, random odds and ends, and it's something like you expect to pay, $100 for. Yeah, and they wanted some astronomical.
It just
$1,200 for a handful of things.
Yeah. 10 years ago, I priced rechroming a Mustang bumper off them, and like a Mustang bumper then was like $100, $110. They wanted $850 to rechrome it.
Well, I remember his
answer.
His answer on the phone to me was fine. Find somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get it. You got the monopoly.
Well.
Zero popped in.
Oh, hey, Zero.
And look, he even put up the link to your channel.
Look at that.
He is such
Kiwi's Fonz. Yeah.
He loves you.
I saw that video. I saw your comment today. Or this evening.
Fonz.
Oh, you haven't seen that one?
No, I haven't.
Where I smacked the side of the Mustang and it unlocked itself?
No, I missed that.
Yeah.
When did you put that up today?
No, that's an old short that I did probably 12 months ago. And Zero just commented on it. Yeah, like we were having trouble with the door locks on this Mustang.
I might have been drunk.
Yeah, but it was cool because you could lock it and then you just go just smack it on the door and the door lock would just pop up.
Really?
So it was just like it was just not quite locking.
Okay.
There was just enough spring
right
to make it pop back up.
It was like right in the middle of the cam there.
Yeah. But it was you just go do the Fonzie and smack it and up it would pop. So.
You have to do it with these Mopar door handles.
Oh, when that button pops out?
No, when you go to close them, like the linkage inside kind of sticks a little bit.
Right.
When it's time to lube it, but you get used to it after a while, and you just don't even think about it. You close the door, and you have to hit the button down.
Oh, okay. Oh. Cart 70, Merry Christmas, everyone. Same to you, bud. Kiwi has magic powers against Ford locking system. Yeah, that's me.
Kiwi's got a lot of really intense, what some might think magical powers. I just saw him out front. He's got that. You got the blue thing.
The blue thing, that
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got chicken bones and blood in the back seat, candles. So he does. You know what I mean?
Bit of black magic.
Yeah, a little bit of Santa here there. I know who you Kiwi guys are.
Habu saying, "Hey Kiwi, can we hear the Chevelle run with the exhaust caps open, cutouts open?" I would have loved to have done that, mate, but he didn't want to, and the car's gone again now. He was really in just for a look-see, just to look over and make sure there wasn't anything horrible going on, which there really wasn't. So he was happy. So yeah, sorry. Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab.
Dr. Art is in the house. I was just over at
Yeah.
Dr. Art's house today, checking out his death cart.
Right.
We'll have a video on that tomorrow.
Kiwi, for the older Mustang and Falcon windshields with the gasket, do you do them yourself, or is there a place in town that can still do it? Very, very few places will do it. I do them. I charge a bit. It's a messy, shitty job to do it properly and use the right type of sealing compound on it. A lot of people use urethane, and that is the wrong thing to use. So yeah, I do it.
And overcharge for it.
A little bit, I'll be honest with you. Yeah. Just because your hands don't come clean for a
Oh,
week.
I can imagine. Yeah, I know.
I could wear gloves, I suppose, but I'm just an old pain in the ass. I don't like wearing gloves. So yeah, I can still do it, man. Have you got one? Did you kind of give up on these electric bloody Hot Wheels cars and gone and actually bought a Mustang? But what's the deal?
Who bought a Mustang?
No, I'm just asking Dr. Art if he bought one.
Oh.
Like, why is he asking? Like, he probably knows someone that's asked him, I guess. But FX Mark 8 Kiwi, How did you get involved with American Pickers? Mate, he just rolled in the door one day. He just walked in and started chatting away. And I knew who it was. I didn't say anything. It was like, okay, I know who you are, but we just chatted away and we were talking about this old Model A Roadster rat rod thing that he had, and he was having issues with it, and so we were talking about that. And right at the end, I said something about the Mercedes. Remember they drove the big Mercedes van?
Yeah.
And I said, I bet that Model A goes better than that big old Mercedes van you've got. And he kind of looks at me and goes, oh, you do know who I am. And yeah, so I wasn't going to fuss and fluff over him just because he was Mike Wolf. So,
well, that's the easiest way to lose a customer.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just not me, he's famous. He is famous. You got to give him that. But it's like, okay, he still puts his pants on one leg at a time.
Well, that's it. And you just ignore the fact that you know who he is, and you just do your thing. That's how you instill trust in people.
Yeah. Danny Boyd, there was a bumper refurbishing place. Shut up the screen. In Trotwood, near where I grew up, and they did chroming. Yeah, chroming used to be like all over the place, but really it's the EPA that's shut them down.
Yeah.
It's pretty toxic stuff. Like, it's not real good for the environment, which is why it's so cheap to get chrome done in China, because they don't give a damn.
Anodizing used to be a big thing too. You can't get anodizing.
No, nobody wants to do anodizing anymore. No.
But there were ways you could do it at home. Using
really?
a battery charger and food coloring.
That's your next video, man.
Well, that was, we used to anodize parts with when we were doing the fuel car thing, because you'd change a piece of tin and it didn't match anything else, so you had to color it. So we had a kiddie pool, and we used food coloring. And the only problem with the food coloring to do the anodizing with was that it would fade quick. Like real anodizing would stay good, but like anything anodized that way would fade after like a year, and you could see that it just wasn't quite right. But if you're doing stuff that isn't like exposed to direct sunlight, you're just trying to neaten up some pieces, you could do it and it will last forever.
Glenn Nickerson, this is still amaze you when you flush the toilet and it drains clockwise. Yeah, I tend not to try and look when I'm flushing, but it is kind of weird. Yes. Holy car mods, got a Ford 289 and I'm wondering what the motor is capable of horsepower wise, and would like to learn more about the motor and the history of it. Well, mate, I mean, Google's your friend there.
Yep.
You're going to find more information than you could ever imagine.
It's one of the most versatile and long-running engines of all time. Yeah, what was the first one? 221 was it?
221 in the late 50s, was it?
Or
early 60s?
1960.
Yeah.
So you got the 221, the 280, the 260, the 289, the 302, the 351. That's the Windsor engine family. And It's just phenomenal. It really is. Like I, I have a like a soft place in my heart for anything Windsor.
Mm.
You know.
They're good motors. 289. I mean, your only real limitation there is the cubic inches a little bit. You can get aluminum heads for them, which will make them breathe so much better. It's a little bit hard to get aluminum heads with small enough port runners, to be happy with the 289 because it's just that little bit on the small side.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can throw a 331 stroker kit in a 289, and you'll be a happy camper.
The limiting factor, like most engines, the limiting factor to valve size is bore. So what you end up doing is you put let's say a set of heads that are optimized for a 302 onto a smaller bore 289 or 260, and the bore obstructs flow.
Yeah, you get valve shrouding.
You get shrouding and stuff. So try to keep everything within the scale of the 289 bore.
And really high performance wise, people aren't really building the 289s, particularly in high performance, just because there's more cubic inches available.
Yeah, but anything you can do to a 5.0, you can do to a 289.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's a limitation on the blocks. They hit 500 or so horsepower, and they start to I think it's 500 or 600 horse. They can start to split the blocks, but you've got to do a little bit to get that much. Chris Greenway, 351 Cleveland is a better design.
Well, yeah, we know that, but that's
not what he's got.
You're talking about.
That's not what he's got. But yeah, you have a point. You make a point. Mike Brunello built a 260 and put it in an F100. Ran strong. Yeah, great little motors.
Carbon fiber rods. I have no experience with them. I do not know. The jury is out. I don't know if they're prone to stretching or shrinking.
Certainly save some weight in the valve train.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
On face value, that seems like a good idea, but durability, I guess, might be the question.
I don't think the question is durability. I think the question is bang for the buck.
Right.
Like, what is a set of carbon fiber rods going to cost you as compared to, let's say, a set of aluminum ones, or lightweight steel ones? Is it worth it? That's the question. You know what I mean? If you're making 950 normally aspirated horsepower, and you'll end up seeing an extra like 25 RPM and 2 horsepower. If you're in a type of world where that counts, then the investment, you do it. You know what I mean? But if you're just putting together a street engine, street stripping, or a mild drag motor, is the cost worth it? That's the question.
Yeah, and I really can't see them being as durable as a steel one for a street car.
Well, the carbon fiber's got a lot of give to it. More give than an aluminum rod. But that's one of the problems with an aluminum rod, because
they make aluminum push rods.
No, it's about connector rods.
Oh, sorry. I thought he meant push rods.
No, connecting rods.
Okay, I misread it. Sorry, guys. I'm completely on the wrong track. Good help's hard to find, isn't it?
Oh, no, yeah, it's okay. We'll slow down for you, Kiwi.
I have seen the carbon con rods, yes.
Yeah. My question is cycling, okay? Because like with aluminum rods, they're supposed to be cycled after so many runs or so many hours of use. So, what's the cycling factor on them? I don't know.
What's on the Kiwi, Chris? I understand time frame and wait times. Is it okay to send some pics of a project 74 days? Yeah, send some pictures over, man. Just email me some pictures, and we'll have a look. Tell me a list of what you're thinking about doing, and see what we can work out, or at least point you in the right direction, whatever you need, man. So, yep, do that. That blue button.
Yep, you did it, and you didn't send us into hyperspace. Let's see.
Any max level, any car themed Christmas decor on your tree?
No.
Not on mine. No.
I could give you some parts you could take with you to hang on the tree.
Oh, there you go. Got an old clutch plate or something?
Actually, I do. You're laying over there someplace.
Well, I think I've probably got one of them too, but I might be in trouble when Mrs. Kiwi lays eyes on it. Anyway,
Stray Bullet, carbon fiber has been to the Titanic. Yeah, no, there's no doubting the strength and the versatility of carbon fiber.
It imploded though.
No, I think that was metal.
No, I thought that was a carbon fiber
the thing that- the thing that-
submersible thing
yeah.
that folded up, and that was the end of that.
You know, they bolted them into that thing,
Yeah.
right? It's like, that should be a tip off right there.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm not even slightly claustrophobic. It doesn't bother me at all. But yeah,
I'm a highly claustrophobic.
No, well, I'm not, but I still wouldn't have been climbing on board that thing, even if it was free or paid me. No, it's like when you get down that deep, if it goes wrong, that's it. It's like, yeah, just tighten that up. We'll be fine. We'll get back to no, whack, you're gone.
There was, that was my biggest problem with the race cars.
Right.
As like trying to drive these things, I'm so claustrophobic. Kathy's watching. I'm sure she remembers. As soon as they get me in the car, like tighten up the belts, I'll be like, "Get me out of here! Get me out of here! I don't want to be here! Get me out of here!" It's just too tight.
Well, get to the other end real quick, and then you can get out. That was like
no lie,
motivator,
bro.
I guess.
That's all I could think of was, "Get me out of this thing! Get me out of this friggin' thing!"
Very at zero, very strong carbon fiber. It's usually heavy, defeats the purpose. I didn't. Okay. I
wasn't aware of that.
Heard carbon fiber being described as heavy before.
How would it compare to, let's say, an aluminum rod, as far as like weight goes? All my experience with carbon fiber was like with body parts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're
makes
featherweight.
lightweight body parts, but maybe that's how thin it is for the
and then
strength.
when you start to condense it to make a high strength item.
Yeah, maybe it does.
I don't know.
Maybe it does. Grumpy, can an Aussie 265 go into a 69 Dart? I see they had the Dart down there branded as a Valiant. 69. I can't remember when they first started putting the 265s into that Valiant. 69. I don't think that had the 265, but Tavo's here. He'll know that for sure.
No, 70 was the first year for the 265. From what I.
Oh, really? 70? Okay.
Yeah. But can it go in a 69 Dart?
Oh, of course it can.
Yes.
You could put a Ford motor in a 69 Dart, but would you?
Well, Pardenne says, according to the scientists that weighed in on the implosion, they were gone in nanoseconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope so.
This doesn't look done.
Something ain't.
I'm a bit.
I don't like to see anybody get hurt, but that was Mr. Darwin just sat back and laughed his ass off at that one.
Yeah, that's the truth of it.
The thing is, you go through all of that to go see this, rust. It's a pile of rust. You're going down, you're risking your life, you're spending all of this money.
Yeah.
Right? And to go see really a pile of rust, and you could just watch videos of it from all of the stuff that they sent down there. Why?
I think it'd be cool. I do think it'd be cool to go and look at if you could, if I felt like you'd do it safely in a truly commercial venture, with safety standards.
See, for me to go down there, if you even have the urge to go down there, it would have to be the kind of thing where you could put on scuba gear and go have lunch at one of the tables. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, then I say, you know what? Okay, this is worth it, right? Because who can say they had lunch on the friggin'...
You'd be there stirring up mud and silt.
Yeah.
A mess. Yeah.
But short of that, no. It's ridiculous.
Barracuda's in the house. How you doing, man? Tony, do you think companies like Dodge are going to build combustion cars again? Well, I didn't think they'd stop it.
I don't think they're going to stop. I don't think they're going to stop. And the whole EV thing is a joke, and it's dissipating as we speak right now. It's the world is waking up to just the idiocy of the whole thing.
Jeff Hutchins, how about a steel core carbon fiber wrapped rod like they do rifle barrels? Man, I don't know.
Fubar's in the house. I didn't see him. You didn't even announce the arrival of Fubar. So how?
Oh, Fubar. Hey, yes. Sorry, distracted here. I was reading Chris Greenaway's thing. Kiwi, false how commercially safe is. Okay, Everest is Everest. I think it's near 500 bodies up there now. Yeah. Okay, no, fair point. I wouldn't be climbing Everest either. Like, that's just like a helicopter, like get dropped up there or something. But all that walking, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, I've become the world's biggest puss. I'm done with adventures.
And it's
I
cold.
have plenty of adventures. I'm good now.
I mean, if I'm going to go to the Titanic, I want a hostess coming around serving me a drink while we're going down, like on a plane.
It would have to be this whole. No.
and air conditioning and like a little movie to watch about it on the screen.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Not
have to
this
tell-
hiking through the ice and snow and freezing your extremities off.
No.
No.
And
Anyway,
then you get eaten by a Yeti. And they just leave you your
Yeti.
rotting, frozen corpse on the side of the.
yeah, well, he's got to have something to chew on later, doesn't he? Oh, good Lord. Okay. What do we got?
Oh, you got it.
Anthony Perner. Kiwi, is the 331 still the better stroker? I remember when 347s came out, they were troublesome. I really would like to build a circle track 353 cubic inch 302 with a Cleveland crank and a Windsor. Okay, not sure about that particular motor. For me, the 331 is a better motor than the 347. Rod ratios are better. They've just gone a little bit too big with the 347. In my opinion, I've driven both engines. I've bought and paid and installed for both engines, and the 331 in certain cases is a few less horsepower, but you know the seat of your pants dyno says the 331 goes better. It just goes. It pulls harder through the rev range. It's happier to accelerate.
Yep.
It's smoother. It's a happy engine. The 347 is a kind of growly engine.
It's kind of like the difference between the 383 and a 440.
Right.
Right? The 440 makes more power, and you can feel that power in the seat of your pants. But the 383 does it in a happier way. It's just freer. It just wants to go. It wants to play. Where the 440 is more like grunt. You know what I mean? And the 383 is like, yay! You know, it's two different experiences.
Yeah. And a true engine guru could tell you that it's because of this percentage of that and the angle of the thing.
Right.
That and why they're happier. But I just know, as I say, seat of the pants dyno does tell you quite a bit.
But the thing is, okay, so he's building it for a circle track application. But now the question is, your circle track, what is the hot setup for you for the circle track? Are you running on like a quarter-mile oval, right? Are you running on, a higher speed setup? What are the dynamics of the type of track that you intend on running on? And then the most obvious thing, what I would do, if faced with this, is find the local engine builder, machine shop that does circle track motors, and ask them. Because they'll know what the hot setup is. You know, they're not going to lie to you. They want to tell you the right thing so you get their business and you're happy. So I would ask somebody who's more familiar with the dynamic of your particular thing. So answering drag racing questions is easy, you know, because it's like, 0 to whatever and go. But circle track is a whole different animal. You know what I mean? So you want to be, circle track is a little bit more, dependent on the circumstance.
Jeff Hutchins asking, so what about steel core carbon fiber wrapped rods? Mate, I don't know. I don't think you do either, do you? Like carbon fiber wrapped steel rods. Like maybe.
I know nothing about that stuff.
It sounds complicated. It sounds like a lot of R&D, and if it's not quite working right, it sounds very expensive.
Gypsy J rides. When were nitro and methanol first used? World War II, no. Well, methanol predates gasoline. They were running, if you go back to like 1900, there were more cars running on methanol, alcohol than there were on gasoline. There were more electric cars on the road in 1900 than there were gasoline cars at that time. So that goes way back. First use of nitromethane was German Formula One circa 1933, I think, or thereabouts, 1933, someplace in that range, 33, 34, 35, 36, somewhere in there. That was the first recognized use of nitromethane.
Yeah, Anthony Perner made a comment. Kiwi, the 353 is a 302 Windsor with 2.3 rods and Chevy pistons and a 302 Cleveland crank with a lot of machining. I'm surprised you get that many cubic inches with a 302 stroke crank. But okay, I'm not familiar with it, but I'm sure it's a thing. Sounds like a lot of work, but it depends, it's what's right for you. If you've got the kind of budget to do all that machining, and you've got a shop that you're confident can get it done. What sort of horsepower are they looking? What do they typically get out of the 353? Because I know, like, I can just ring up and get a 331 dropped at my door that's making 430 horse. So, you know, and you know, the hardest work of that is picking up the phone. Oh, and writing the check, of course. But hey,
That's why, generally speaking, I order pizza. You know.
Oh, dear me. Okay, what do we got? What do we got?
Okay, Anthony Perna, thanks. Tony, I'm actually looking at it for a streetcar. I just saw the 353 built on a circle track form. I want to stuff in my Mustang too. Okay, well, see, now if it's a streetcar, you may be overthinking and over. Yeah, yeah. When you go to those exotic combinations where there's a lot of machining, a lot of very specific parts, it's done for a specific reason. Okay, like for instance, you know, to work, you know, coming off a corner, let's just say, just you know what I mean. In other words, like there's a combination that works for a specific dynamic that occurs in the type of racing that you're dealing with. If you're building it for a streetcar, those things become superficial. They don't superficial. They become not. They don't matter. See, so I would just for that case, if it requires machining, exotic parts, one-off stuff, no. Just stick with the common off-the-shelf, you know, stuff, and don't worry about it. When you get into and this goes for like really any type of engine. Whenever you get into those combinations that are like very intense, right? So in other words, very specific rod, very specific ring, very specific. It's all for a specific purpose for a specific type of racing. You know what I mean? And if it's a streetcar, you don't have to bother with that because you're not going to come across that circumstance during the course of operating the car. Does that make any sense?
Yep. Chris Greenaway, if he was to make a 72 Cleveland 351 into a Boss 351 spec, what's the major difference in the heads? I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure, man. I don't know. They couldn't even hazard a guess. I'm sure there is a difference, but I'm not sure what it is. But there's Ford guys out there. I mean, I'm just not that deep into the fine details of the specs on stuff like that to be able to give you an answer off the top of my head. But again, Mr. Google.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, just guessing, I'm going to say that the basic 72 351 Cleveland has probably got the 2-barrel heads, and the Boss 351 will have the 4-barrel heads.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know enough about the specifics. Right. He says, Mr. Google.
Yeah. Mr. Porsche, will a GT500 engine work in a town car? Just asking for a friend. Yes, it will work in a town car, absolutely. Yes, be a fairly fast town car. Barry Cooter, don't know if you want to get into EV fires, but did you see about the Coromandel New Zealand beach house burnt to the ground? No, I did not.
I am going to do a video on that, and probably on Thursday.
On the Coromandel house that burned down? No, or just EV fires?
No, that particular one.
Because, oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. Now there's another channel, a guy that goes by the name of MUV guy, or God, I can't think of the name of the channel now. He's an anti-EV guy. Like his religion is anti-EV. So I take everything he says and does with a grain of salt.
Right.
But this happened in New Zealand last week, and it was an electric car that was parked in the garage, charging, and it caught fire and burned down the house. So the official report. See, I'm giving away the meat of my video, but that's okay because. So the meat of the report, right, declared that the fire didn't start in the garage. It started at the back of the house, and it had nothing to do with the car. But one of the neighbors, that was the official report.
Right.
Okay. But one of the neighbors who was out in front of the house taking video of the thing with a camera phone, and you can clearly see, because the fire had just started, there was the car on fire in the garage, and you could see the rest of the house is just fine.
Oh, wow.
So the official government there is lying.
Well, the New Zealand government is seriously pushing EVs.
Yes. Yes. So
they've got the political BS goes on in New Zealand just like it does here.
Yes. So I am doing a video on that exact incident with
that I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
That I'm going to watch.
Barracuda, M guy. Yeah, okay, that was it.
Kevin Harmon, Edison Freight is actually building electric semis correctly by building it like a train. Yeah, I've watched that guy. I quite like his style. Have you seen him, Edison Motors?
I have not.
They're building electric semis but they're using, it's a little bit on the same principle as that Dodge Ram that you were ragging on the other week with the, with the V6.
Right.
V6
Generator.
powered alternator. Yeah.
Right.
But he's building semi trucks like that, and they've got a 4-liter diesel engine running a generator which is powering the electric motors. So the trucks are lighter. They don't have much in the way of batteries on them.
Well, he's building basically a diesel electric locomotive,
and
but
that's just
on
what he was saying. Yeah.
right, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. That's completely different than the Ram, which is a battery powered car with a V6 generator. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
It's
Good
like
point. Yeah.
apples and oranges. It's not the
Yeah.
same thing.
So the generator is the fuel for the engine, and effectively, it's not the generator's not feeding the batteries, which are then feeding the engine.
Right.
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 No, he's pretty good, that Edison. Like he's a youngish guy, and he's trying to kind of mix it with the big boys. Yeah. And they're building trucks from, they've got quite a few people on board, and they're building, trucks from scratch, basically using other people's componentry, train axles and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, he's making electric, and they've done some impressive testing, and so yeah, good for them.
Kim Morganson, German warplanes during World War II ran MW50 methanol water injection and nitrous oxide manually as time-limited emergency boost, as their fuels were 87 and 92 octane versus the American 100 130 octane fuel. Yeah, nitrous oxide was first used by the Germans, World War II. I understood it was just because of the high altitude. There wasn't enough oxygen there, so they fed the motor a dry shot just to give it a little extra oxygen. That's how I understood it, but I mean, you could very well be right.
Screen away. It's because Canadian truckers think their pecker is bigger than a baby's arm.
Mexican Spec says the Tesla Semi is almost ready for the public. Jay Leno drove one towing another one. Yeah, when that thing goes Roman candle, that's going to be spectacular, boy. That'll burn a real hole in the road.
Oh, Grumpy, did you see the electric concrete truck burn up in Aussie? No, I did
not.
Yes,
I've seen that too.
Yeah, it's a happening thing. My niece just bought one, and she was telling me about it, and I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't really want to burst her bubble and like rag on her nice new car she just bought too much, but yeah. But she's a little bit of a greenie, and wanted to do the right thing by the environment.
I gotta find something. I gotta show him, and I gotta show you guys.
Tony and Kiwi, have you ever seen the channel called Greg Quirin? Greg builds homemade custom one-off engines. He just built a 4-cylinder out of sheet metal and ran 220 mile an hour on the flats. How on earth do you build an engine out of sheet metal? Okay, might have to look him up. Greg Quirin. All right.
Yeah, I think this is the one.
Johnny himself driving Tesla Semi. Great. Yeah. His truck is a beast. Co-worker saw it at the Toronto Auto Show. Yeah. I think we're going to be hearing more from that guy, honestly. But don't be surprised if he gets swallowed up by some manufacturer. Manufacturer comes in and just buys him to shut him up, because I think he might be on the way to embarrassing some of the mainstream truck builders. That's my feeling with him, but
okay,
I don't know much about trucks either.
So this is a video that I think every parent in the world needs to see. Okay, this is an electric bus. I'm going to show him, and I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so now picture. So here's these electric buses. They're all sitting there. Now imagine that you just loaded your kids onto this bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Waving little Johnny off to school.
Yeah, waving little Johnny off to school, and you're like, I smell something, but I don't know what it is.
Holy moly!
I smell something. I'm not sure what that is. Hey, Johnny. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Is that for real?
Yeah, that's for real. That's a Chinese electric bus fire.
Nobody in that had a chance.
No. So here, I'm going to show. I'm going to show it to you guys.
No chance.
I'm going to show. I'm making fun of this, right? But
good Lord, the time from when it started to smoke to when it just burst into flames is like 2 seconds.
2.5 seconds.
2.5. Oh, that's a good guess.
Okay, wait. I got to stop it there. All right. So I'm gonna line this up and I'm gonna hit
Watch
play.
a video
you
on a
guys,
video.
so watch from the time that you see the first bit of smoke. Okay, watch from the time you see the first bit of smoke and watch what happens. It's this bus on the end right there. Ready? Okay, it's hanging out.
Is it playing?
Is it playing?
Is it playing? It doesn't look
I don't
like
think it's playing. Okay.
Helps when you.
There you go. Smoke.
Whoa.
Smoke. Boom.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 2.5 seconds from the time you see the first bit of smoke. 2.5 seconds from the first bit of smoke to this thing just being like the volcano. Every parent on the planet, because they want to make all these buses electric, every parent on the planet needs to watch that video.
Yeah, that's wild. Look on the bright side, the EV bus will keep the kiddies warmer than the diesel.
It will. They save a lot of money on heating. Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, Zero, it's terrifying. That's just one of them. And if you actually go searching for bus fires, there's dozens and dozens of them, but it only takes one. Could you imagine that bus loaded with, let's say, like with 60 kids, and then there's nobody gets out. Nobody has the only thing you could say about it is they never knew what hit them. That's the only thing you'd be able to say.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't even be able to identify. Gee, that was wow. Chinese bus fire, is that why they have Chinese fire drills at the traffic lights? Jeez. Like a hydrogen gas explosion, yeah.
Holy car mods. Tony, since you have a Jeep, what are your thoughts on the Duck Duck Jeep world? Just a random question. I think it's cute. It's mostly women, and I think it's great that they have this little cult going on. I don't get the Jeep thing because I'm an XJ guy, and Jeep people, like the Duck type of Jeep people, they look at us XJ people. It's just like, oh no, you're not one of us. But I get a kick out of it. I think it's great. Kim Morganson says, yes, the smoke is like gas. The progression is similar to the e-bike battery that burned my house down. Oh, so we've got an EV fire victim right here.
Wow.
Oh my God. I hope you got everything got out okay, bro. That's terrible, Kim.
Yeah, it is bad. But tell you what, the insurance companies are going to start really raining down on that shit before long, because they really don't like paying out for stuff like houses. Like that house in the Coromandel was, well, I mean, the average price of a house in New Zealand is like 1.2 million now. So that was most likely in Coromandel was like a holiday area in New Zealand, and it's quite high end. It could well have been a $2 million house.
It was it didn't look like a cheap.
It didn't look like a cheap house. It was probably all of $2 million, because it's like a holiday hotspot there in Coromandel, and the insurance companies get really grumpy about shelling out $2 million.
Yeah, it's all coming apart right now.
Wow, heard New York City car garages do not let EVs park in them.
Jeff
John,
sorry. No, go ahead.
John M. That's why Tesla created their own insurance company.
They have to.
That's just the sort of thing he would do. Like, that's how he would solve a problem, to protect his precious Teslas, old Elon. And and that guy, he'll make money doing that insurance company, because he just farts and makes a profit on it. He's unreal.
Jeff Hutchins is saying Tony's right. Most Jeep people aren't accepting of XJs, which is ironic, because there would be no Jeep movement at all today if it wasn't for the XJ. The XJ is what saved the brand. The brand would have gone extinct back in the 1980s if it wasn't for the XJ. The only reason Chrysler bought AMC was for the XJ. So it's like none of this would exist if it wasn't for that vehicle. You would think that there was the XJ, but no, they don't see it that way.
Hey, Mexican Spectre brought up a good point. What insurance covers that? The household insurance or the car insurance? That's an interesting one, because if it was two different companies, the household insurance companies are going to be blaming the car
Yep.
and wanting the car insurance company, whoever, if you happen to have it with different companies, that could turn into a litigation nightmare. Like, Geico's suing, farmers insurance because, one had the others. Yeah, that could, that could get ugly real quick. Hit the blue button. Fireman checking in. That flame is just billowing out from the bottom and covering it, not blowing through the floor, preventing escape. They will unfortunately know exactly what hit them. Unfortunately, no.
Sorry, bro. Did you watch that video? Go back and watch that video again. Okay.
The flames were definitely inside the bus.
That was an explosion in that bus. That was an explosion.
Stray bullet. The car insurance would cover the car and the homeowners, the house. Okay. Yeah, well, that's kind of how I would have thought it would work, but yeah.
Oh, Andy's in here. Unity Motorsports. The Jeep XJ was the caravan of Jeeps. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, my tree fell on your house. Your insurance covers it. Huh. Oh, there we go. Tim Muggerson, his e-bike burned his house down. Only a tiny 40-cell battery could not put it out, crawling along the floor, avoiding the smoke with extinguishers. Wow,
that's crazy.
That's a little.
That's crazy.
Close to the edge, isn't it?
Now I myself don't have. People always like whenever they watch these videos I do, and they're like, "Don't you have battery powered tools?" And no, actually I don't. I don't have any battery powered tools. Everything I have is either plug-in or air. Now, it's not that I have anything against battery-powered tools, so let's get that straight. But if I did have battery-powered tools, I would be charging those batteries in a place where there's like no harm could come. Like they would be isolated off on a concrete section of floor with some kind of like, wall solid, stone, concrete, brick, whatever wall behind them, so that if and when they did go, it's going to be limited. You know what I mean? But I mean, I hear all the time now, like in New York, people are getting killed in their apartments because they're charging their e-bikes, and the e-bike goes flambe in the middle of the night, and there's just no way to get out of there.
Flambe. It's interesting you say that because about 15 years ago, a buddy of mine was heavily into his RC remote control boats.
Yeah, those things.
They fly, but the lithium battery was fairly new then, like in the RC
right.
in the RC car boat world, and they were suggesting that you recharge them in a steel box.
Yep.
This was back then before all this what we're talking about right now was going on.
Yep.
And we were like, really? That seems like, and we were
that
just like,
extreme.
That seems like a pain in the ass.
Like,
yeah. But yeah, it all kind of adds up now. But yeah, I leave my battery. You're making me worry now because I leave my batteries and all my cordless stuff just on charge in the corner of the workshop overnight.
You shouldn't do that. You should watch some videos of cordless batteries going up. It's common. It's not like it's okay. So electric car fires are not really that common. It's just that when they do happen, they're insane, right?
Yeah.
But the battery fires are very common. So you should really look into that.
Okay. Makes you think.
Well, Kim Morganson, I am glad you made it out.
Yeah. Now we got this question here on tunnel rams. This is one for Tony, really. ITB versus dual quad tunnel ram. Which one makes more horsepower torque over a wide RPM band? Benefits of a large plenum TR versus none, ITB. I'm not really following any of that.
Okay.
Well, the dual quad, I get.
Which one makes more horsepower torque over a wide RPM
what's
band?
An ITB?
Benefit? I don't know. Okay. That's what I'm saying. It's a tunnel ram, but what do you mean by ITB? It's probably right. I just say it, and I'll know what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the benefits of a large plenum versus none, ITB. So.
No plenum. Yeah. Something throttle body.
Independent throttle body? No, I don't
know.
Well, let's see. Well,
Hopefully you'll check back in with us.
Individual throttle body. Yeah. Okay. Apples and oranges. Two different things. If you're talking about an individual, if you're talking about like a stack injection sort of thing, right? versus a tunnel ram. Two completely different things. The stack injector will not make stack injectors work great with fuels that make high volume fuels that make a lot of torque on their own, like nitro or alcohol. But as far as like from a wide range pulling from down low, tunnel ram all the time, every time.
There you go.
Okay. Hihor, take the lithium batteries out of your smoke detectors now.
Yeah. Mexicans, I had a friend that had a 7 Piranha. I don't even know what that is. He forgot to. Oh, he had 7 Piranha. He forgot to feed them one night, and then he had 6. They are ugly and skittish fish. Yeah, well,
So am I.
self-feeding, so to speak.
And ugly and skittish.
And ugly and skittish. Yeah. There you go. Danny Boyd, I want nothing to do with any Piranha. I understand that. Yeah. Oh, there we go. What's happening?
Mexican spec saying they're no different than any other fish. They will not attack you. If you put your hand in, they won't even eat the goldfish with you in the room. Well, Mexican spec knows a lot about piranhas.
Apparently, yeah.
The honey badger is my animal of choice. The honey badger is my spirit animal. Do you have honey badgers in New Zealand?
No. Gabriel DeMarco, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Merry
I appreciate
Christmas.
that.
What else have we got going on here? Honey badgers are savage, yes. Mexican speak. I know a lot about very big snakes as well.
Nice.
We should do a. You should do a like we did with Zero and Ari with Mexican.
Yeah, the next one, guys. Maybe New Year's. You want to get together on New Year's?
What am I doing?
We'll do a live. New Year's Eve is actually a Sunday.
Okay.
I'm not having a party or anything like that.
Right.
So maybe.
I was wondering where my invite was.
Oh, I would have. I haven't.
Well, that's why I haven't got
You
one.
can come over for Christmas if you want.
We got family plans.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks
I thought
for the
I was
invite.
like family.
Yeah. Well, you are. That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So, guys, if you want to get together again on New Year's Eve, we'll do one of those StreamYard things. That'll be fun. I'd like to do that. I really enjoyed that night with you guys.
What do you say? Glenn Nickerson, just don't wear your ham necklace while swimming in the Amazon River.
And hopefully,
That's
Fubar
probably
can
good
make
advice.
it this time.
Oh yeah, Fubar kind of did a no show on us, didn't he? Oh, what was that? Something about inline 6. I'm trying to Viva La Cruz. What's up? I'm trying to set up a 3 deuce on my inline 6. What carbs do you recommend? It's a Ford, by the way. Yeah. Probably just 3 single barrel hollies.
Really.
No,
That's gonna be enough.
not enough.
No. The 3 single barrels are gonna flow as much as a 2 barrel. So it's like
Right.
why even
True.
bother?
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand why you would do it because you want the distribution.
Right.
I imagine that's why you want to do it. So because you don't want the central carburetor having to go all the way out with that big log manifold that they use on
Which Ford are you putting the triple carbs on? Because most of them have a cast in intake manifold, don't they, on the Ford 6s?
Well, I've seen things where they weld carburetor base plates, or
Right.
carburetor adapter like a base plate to the log manifold and then mount them on there. I would use. I'm a Mopar guy, right? But I would use BBDs. I would use a pair of those. That's the common carburetor you would find on like a 318 2 barrel or a slant 6 with a 2 barrel. I would use BBDs. They're the simplest, easiest carbs to work with, and they're going to be 275 CFM, 280 CFM each. So times 3,
800 off.
Yeah. Well, yeah, about that.
Yeah, 800 off CFM, 8 a bit.
Well, remember the 2 barrels are rated differently than 4 barrels.
Oh, they are?
So, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Oh.
I thought CFM was CFM.
No, like for instance, no, because they do them differently. Give me an example. It's a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Okay. So, or the Chrysler, the Chevy Tri-Power uses the same carburetor. Ford uses the same carburetors. So the center carburetor is 350 CFM. The 2 outboards are 500 CFM each. So you'd say, well, that's 1,350 CFM based on common math.
Right.
But it's not. It's actually 970 CFM.
Okay, how's that
It,
work?
it flows the equivalent of a 970 CFM 4-barrel
Oh, okay.
because there's extra restriction, there's extra parasitic loss through that multiple of 2 barrels than you'd have through the single big 4-barrel. Notice there's more surface area. There's more. You've got extra boosters in the way. You see what I'm saying? As with 6-barrel as opposed to a 4-barrel.
Yep, I get that. That makes sense actually.
Right.
So
So
never really
they-
thought about it like that.
They float them differently. They rate them differently.
Huh. John Connor, what was the last year for the 273? Any overlap with the 318?
1969, and yes, they overlapped for well, there was always overlap because the 318 was a poly head until 1966. Well, 1966 was last year as a poly head. So they overlapped. The 318 LA and the 273 LA overlapped in 67, 68, and 69. So for 3 years.
Chris Cadman always knew there was something fishy about Mexicans.
Yeah. Now I get it. The piranhas and the lizards and everything else we saw. So it's blue button time, Kiwi.
It's blue button time. Ooh, look at that. Lots of questions.
Did I mention I quit smoking?
He didn't. Chris Cadman's saying it was 240 mil the intake to take 3 single barrels.
Yeah.
How did that go? How did it run with the 3 single barrels on? Because that was my idea. I'm not saying it was a great one, but it was my idea.
I think the single barrel would probably be easier because it's going to better fit.
Right. That would have been a trick to see. What have we got? Tony Kiwi rebuilt a Rochester B single barrel and did the Power Tour West last weekend. It did amazing, waking up my 2.25 litre 4-cylinder Land Rover ambulance. They are so simple and so
Very nice.
efficient. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. A Rochester B single barrel. There you go.
Nice. 4-cylinder Land Rover ambulance. That's very cool.
Holly Car Mods. I'm looking to add a set of headers on my 289. What have you guys had the best results with header wise? I like the JBA headers, but they are a little pricey. They fit not well. It depends what your 289's in. Usually I'm working on a Mustang when we're dealing with a 289, and the JBAs have a header that fits the Mustang. It's not too low to the ground. They're full length, the long runners. JBA.
Joe K says we ghosted a super chat. I didn't see it. You want to? Careful with your.
What am I doing?
Go back. Evidently, we missed a super chat.
We missed a super chat?
Yeah.
Where did we miss a super chat?
He said, Joe K.
K.
Sorry, brother man. Okay. Do you think EV technology has the ability to mature over time that these problems will diminish, or are we just done right off the bat, pull the plug? See, that's hard to say. I don't know. They've been talking about evolving battery tech now for 10 years. They're like, we got the new battery. It's coming out in April. It's coming out in January. It's going to come out and it'll do all of these things. And yet nobody's come up with anything like that. EV technology it obviously will improve. Okay, battery technology obviously will improve. The question is, can it ever be as flexible as an internal combustion engine? See, that's the question. It's not whether or not the technology is there. The question is, will it ever be able to match an internal combustion engine for ease of use and flexibility and extreme conditions and so on and so forth? The internal combustion engine, so there's no question about it, right? So, things like inventions like fire or the wheel, which is basically a circle, are from nature. They're not really man's inventions. We just kind of harnessed it. But we invented the internal combustion engine, and that is mankind's greatest achievement. And it's been our best friend and our worst enemy for 125 years, 100, right? It's like the dog, okay? You know what I mean? It's like humanity and the dog have bonded as one, right? And the internal combustion engine and humanity have bonded as one. So it's going to take a lot to break that bond.
That's very true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Mexican speak,
That
you
was
got to
so
laugh.
profound.
It was so
I think we
profound.
all need to drop some acid now and really get into. Yeah, you ever do acid, bro?
No,
No.
no. I was very conservative. I did a bit of weed, and that's about it for me, man. Mexican speak got a good laugh out of your title for tonight's super chat.
It wasn't
Well,
supposed to
just
be
not
funny.
the title, the description. The description.
It wasn't supposed to be funny. It was maniacal.
Yeah. Oh, dear me. Captain Archie super chat that this isn't the question you're looking for.
I have no idea.
We got another one. There you go.
Captain Anarchy. Anarchy, yeah. Right here. Oi.
Danny Boyd passed on some JBAs for his 3-valve a few years ago and kicking yourself. Well,
Hit the blue button,
hit the
brother
blue
man.
button. It's frozen again. Kiwi, I didn't put the Tony did. Kiwi just uploaded the Fine 69 Chevelle and raced to Tony's place. Yeah, I kind of did actually. Yeah, I had about.
You came in that blue thing. You should have come in a Chevelle. It would have
Sure.
been.
Well, I wasn't. It's not. I didn't have it to bring it. So it was the shop for an hour today.
We could have done some donuts in
We
the
could have
parking
done
lot.
some. We do some donuts in that blue thing. That does donuts. Ask me how I know.
It's not the same, but yeah.
Oh, there was plenty of smoke. Trust me, plenty of smoke.
Rick S. Hey UT, I just discovered a clock on the console was factory on my Dutch-built 69 Barracuda instead of in the dash. Weren't these originally in 66 Chargers? All right. No, somebody added that.
Dutch built.
Might have been. So somebody added that after the fact. So the car was built or delivered with a non-clock dash, and so the dealer or somebody along the line added that console tack, and they were used originally in. Let me see. The Chrysler 300 had the cable-mounted tack until 64. So I think those first were used in 65, and it's across the board item.
Jason Fitch. It's funny.
Uh,
Mexican speak. Wouldn't you have used jar 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 instead of ha ha ha?
Cha cha cha.
Or like the,
Well, yeah.
the Mexican. Yeah. There you go.
Paul Cavazol, Tony, do you have more experience with blown nitro or injected nitro? Which one was more of a challenge? No hands-on experience with injected nitro. Wait, let me think about that before I say that unequivocally. No hands-on experience with injected nitro. Yes, some experience helping people work through injected nitro issues. All my hands-on experiences with blown nitro. And how much of it do I have? Way too much. Way too much. And it's all completely obsolete. It all belongs to another era. So it's not even worth talking about.
Holly Carmods, what about the Flowtech headers? Now, from memory, the Flowtechs is a cheaper brand. I have used those once before, and you can kind of tell you got what you paid for. Horsepower-wise, I really don't think there's much in it between one brand to the next. There will be some, but it's not like you're going to drive it with one and go, oh my God, this is so much faster. It's not going to be any night and day difference. There's going to be, a few single-digit horsepower difference between different headers. But it's really more, for me, it's more about the quality, how thick the flanges are, how thick the tube is they're using. Are they mandrel drawn tubes? When they're bending them, are they mandrel or compression bends? What sort of coupling have they got on the end of the collector? That kind of thing is what you kind of end up paying the money for. And you want nice thick plates where you bolt it onto the head so they don't move and warp and start header gasket leaks and all that drama that you just really don't need.
Tonight has been a who's who
who's who?
People from Andy Mays dropped in, Andy Wood dropped in, and then there's Dr. Art dropped in, and there's Jamie from Dead Dodge Garage, the best Mopar channel to be found on Earth, the best Mopar channel on Earth. Jamie, Dead Dodge Garage, go over there if you're even remotely interested in Chrysler products. If you've never heard him, go over there, sub to him. He makes that other guy, the graveyard guy, look like a freaking ballerina. Okay, Dead Dodge Garage, the ultimate Mopar channel. Did I pump you up enough there, Jamie? You can
Oh.
send the check later.
Sure, his ego's taken a good hike, I
No,
would say.
I swear to God, I'm not making it up. He really is the Mopar channel. I'm not the Mopar channel. He is the Mopar
Well,
channel.
there you go. You've been told, guys. Anthony Perner, Kiwi, what about tri-wise versus long tubes? Tri-wise, I'm not that big a fan of. For a street engine, they can be a little bit fiddly trying to get the things to idle nice with the tri-wise. Just prefer the 4-into-1.
Dripping Glass. Hey, Tony, have you used a DC Mopar 509 hydraulic cam with a 440 thoughts? Yeah, several of them over the years. That was the cam. I don't know why it was the cam, because there were a few others good choices. One of the reasons was because it always works as far as valve lift. Because on a big block Mopar, you're supposed to be able to get about 550 lift out of the stock heads with the stock retainers without trimming the valve guides. Excuse me. So the 509 comes kind of close to that. There was a 528, I believe it was. It was I think a better overall grind, but the 509 was a super popular cam. And back in the day, I can't tell you how many of those things people would bring me their car and, oh, here's the 509 cam, and you put it in the car. They kind of need a converter, right? You can get away with a stock converter on them, but just barely, and it takes a lot of initial advance to make them work. But yeah, many of them. That was the cliche Mopar go-to cam for about 20 years. And no, I don't remember any of the other specs to it. Mexican Spec is saying, Dead Dodge Garage, I can watch your videos. I cannot watch his videos. Oh, you're talking about the graveyard guy. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. I can't say he's a weenie because I have a lifelong friend that's actually part of that channel, but so I won't say it.
Bluetooth batteries are the next tech in batteries. What? Never heard of that. Stu, Dead Dodge Garage. Stu could be an honorary moper. I had a Studebaker way back when with a Chevy engine in it, like from the factory. I think it was a 66, I think it was. Studebaker Cruiser came with the 283 and 3-speed auto. So, yeah, they were a thing, even in New Zealand.
Jeff Hutchins is saying, you're the Mopar channel. No, you're the Mopar. Yeah, no, he's really the Mopar channel. I'm a general interest car channel. You know, I do Mopars. I'm surrounded by Mopars, but I'm not, my channel isn't about Mopars. My channel is about cars, and I just happen to have a lot of Mopars. And motorcycles, too. Jamie really focuses in on the Mopar thing, and he works at Rocket Restorations, which is a Mopar shop. These are just pure brilliance, just good vibes all the way around, good people, lots of knowledge. I just cannot say enough good things about these guys.
Now, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name, but it's J somebody.
Oh, Jesus. Smith.
I need a lot more bourbon before I can pronounce that. Ever seen a ratcheting driver on a supercharger? Not quite sure what he means by ratcheting driver. Is he meaning like a one-way? Are you meaning like a one-way clutch so that you can have overrun?
I think he might be talking about. Oh, okay. He means like when you're gonna, so you've got a blown motor, right? A supercharged motor without a starter. Okay, you crank the motor over. You put a ratchet, put a long handle ratchet in the front of the blower snout in the drive.
Right. That's how they start the top fuel cars, isn't it?
Well, with a remote starter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
with a plug-in starter, but to rotate the motor.
Right.
Right. So you just want to spin the motor over. You're gonna set the lash, or you're gonna, whatever it is that you're doing. You're gonna drop pistons, whatever it is that you're doing with this thing. You turn it over with a ratchet.
Okay.
So I think that's what he's talking about.
Okay, could be. Yeah, I went to the kind of that Mad Max type scenario where the supercharger on that thing had like a clutch in it.
Yeah. Although that might be what he's talking about too. But when he said
yeah.
ratcheting, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because you've probably seen people going like this, cranking the motor over, and that's.
Tell us who's right and who's wrong. There you go.
That was my first job. That was I was probably like 23 or 24, and that was the first thing I got. The first hands-on thing I got to do on a fuel car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, was aside from
turn it over,
cleaning parts, right? But actually, grabbing the ratchet and turning the thing over, backing it down before you start it. And, yeah, I remember that. That was a big deal.
You got to be careful with the nitro in there, don't you? Like when you're turning them over, and they've had explosions, haven't they?
I watched 2 guys get killed in North Carolina. Oh, 1 guy get killed, 1 guy get maimed in North
Wow.
Carolina starting
Really?
one.
Yeah, yeah. They.
It had started, right?
Right.
The engine started, and then it cut out right away. And when that happens, you have to put the ratchet on the blower and back the motor down. You roll it over backwards.
Right.
Because when it stalls, when it stops running, there's still fuel in the lines. So the fuel is dripping into the engine.
Right.
Okay? You've got all of those lines.
Mm.
Right? So the
And
lines are still pressurized.
The nitro's an explosive.
You get a ton of nitro in there.
Mm.
So you're supposed to grab a ratchet and back the motor down, turn it
Right.
backwards. Well, these guys, we were a couple of cars behind them, getting ready to run. And these guys, the engine stalled, and they grabbed the starter and they plugged it in. And before anybody could say, because like all of us watching this, all of a sudden we're like, hey, they got to back, and just as you're saying they got to back that thing down, right? Boom, boom. It was vicious. It was vicious. It blew all the skin from the middle of this guy's right off of him. Like,
Jeez.
yeah, it was bad.
Oh, that sounds.
Well, he was like leaning
brutal.
over the motor when
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw a picture of one that had blown, and the motor had literally blown apart.
Yeah.
The block was blown.
yeah, it was raining. It was raining parts
Parts.
and
Yeah,
bits
Lord.
of him.
Oh, yeesh. Yeesh. Where we go? Gee, Chief Hutchins. Tony hasn't. So you haven't blamed me for anything tonight. That's it. Well done.
I'm working on
Maybe
it.
I
It's going to
haven't
be a
done-
big
oh,
one.
you-
It's going to be a big one.
Tony, sorry you sold that YZ100 now.
I had a YZ100.
That's what he's saying.
I don't think I've ever had a YZ100 unless I might have had a stroke. I know YZ100. Did I ever have a YZ100? I've never owned a YZ100. I've never had a Yamaha dirt bike. Wait, I have had Yamaha dirt bikes. Fuck, I don't know. Let's see.
The Territory. Yeah, I've seen some of those videos with the Indian guys. That's the yeah, not the American Indians, the Indian Indians.
Yeah. Those videos are great. Have you ever seen them?
Yeah, yeah. No, they're great. The stuff they do and they make, and
I could
like,
binge watch that all day.
Like I mean, the conditions they work in, it's a reminder of actually how good we've got it. Yeah.
No, it's a reminder of how soft we are.
Well,
Those
yeah.
guys are in there. No, seriously, right? Those are men, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Those are men.
Yeah.
And they're these Pakistan's like Indian and Pakistani like factories, okay? And there's chickens running around, and they're like pouring like molten steel, and they're like wearing sandals, and they just don't give like zero fucks given.
No.
Like these are men. You know what I mean? That's the kind of people who used to populate this country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
Now everybody's a soy
Well,
boy.
you can't do anything like that because OSHA just have a
Yep.
fit.
Yep.
I think it'd be hysterical, like shipping half a dozen OSHA guys over to those places in India and just making them watch.
No, but the point is, they know what they can get away with. They do it every day of their lives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and they're like, hey, look, I get burned. It's no big deal, but I got to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Man, you know? You don't ever want to pick a fight with one of those guys. They will literally eat your liver.
There's a guy in my neighborhood that has some kind of old tea bucket that has a cartridge starter retrofitted to it. Pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
What's a cartridge starter?
So
See, it's my turn for tech questions.
it's tube, okay? It's tube that has that takes a 12 gauge shot, a 12 gauge bullet, like a shotgun bullet.
The shotgun rounds, yeah.
Okay, and you whack it, and that initiates the combustion and starts the motor.
Huh. Okay. Cartridge. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's like
starter.
old school.
Wow.
We got the button.
Yeah, got the button. Yeah. Mark, you missed a super chat. They're telling us we missed another. Oh, really? How do we find that? Top chat. Well, it was on that button.
I don't know. Scroll back. Let's see.
Scroll back. We missed it.
Sorry, guys.
It better be 2 tonight. That's not very good.
That's because you get carried away with your
TriStar Workshop.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Is it necessary to resurface the flywheel on a non-performance application? If so, how does the driveway mechanic do so?
Okay, so you're gonna have two situations that you're gonna find on a flywheel. Okay, and they don't warp. Generally, they don't warp, but you'll find the transfer of material from the disc to the flywheel, and that'll appear as like spots around it. Okay, and when you put the new if you don't clean those up, when you put the new disc on there, it won't seat correctly. You know, you'll end up with a clutch that chatters and grabs, right?
Yeah, shutters, yeah.
And then the other thing is heat cracks. So you'll find many times you'll pull the cover off and you look at the flywheel and you'll see light heat cracks, heat checks all around it. Those by themselves aren't really a problem if you surface the flywheel. If you surface the flywheel, let's say you take 20 thousandths off the flywheel and you still see those cracks, then that flywheel is no good because it can and will crack. So in a non-performance application,
will come apart.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So in a non-performance application, that's not really super critical, but it is good practices anyway. And the only way the home guy can do it is, as far as I am concerned, take it to a machine shop. That's the kind of thing that I'm sure there are 1,000 home remedies for machining a flywheel, and I wouldn't recommend any of them. Just drop it off at a machine shop.
Flywheels aren't that expensive these days either.
No, that's
to
true.
Buy a replacement, and often they're steel billet ones, not cast steel. Yeah. So look at the cost options on a brand new flywheel.
Oh, okay, yeah. Refusal. Also, the cartridge starters use a blank 12 gauge. Yes, I should have pointed that out. Yes, you're not firing a bullet into then a buckshot in the engine is not a good thing. I should have said that. Yeah, slug goes right to the piston. Boom.
Tannerite will fire up an engine.
Sure it will. Okay. What
else what do we got here? The Brits ain't getting any credit from me, and my lineage is English, Scottish, and Irish. Scottish and Irish, eh? So half of you wants to get drunk, and the other half doesn't want to pay. That's Irish and Scottish.
Oh, that's not me. That's the foreigner over here saying shit like that. I don't go there.
They're all good people.
Let's see.
E-Fog, how you doing, man? Cruz saying ceramic for highway, organic for city. He's talking about clutch plates, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Ceramic clutch for the highway. I mean, really? I mean, I don't know. If you were to ask me, I would like just my unsolicited opinion on that. I would say that, man, that's a really hard disc. But
that's would it be a high performance application? I would have thought. Yeah, I wouldn't have. Yeah.
Well, what I would say was if you're using a ceramic clutch disc, you're going to have a hardened. You're going to have a hardened donut on the cover, and you're going to have a hardened flywheel. Otherwise, the disc is going to be harder than the other friction material. You have that run that same.
I think it's a little bit like. I think that the material he's talking about is a bit like the ceramic brake pads.
Yeah, but even the ceramic brake pads require a hardened rotor.
Yeah, but you just buy ceramic pads off the shelf and just put them on whatever rotor you want. But they're it's not like completely ceramic. There's just ceramic particles in it.
Okay, because I remember when the ceramic pads came out, and the big thing with that was that you had to use specific ceramic pad rotors. Now it may have changed over the years.
Yeah. The ceramic stuff you get like from O'Reilly's or Napa now, like you on the box it'll have ceramic, and they look pretty much like a regular pad, but there's just different properties in the material they're using, and there's ceramic particles or ceramic powder or something in the brake pad. Right, like a lot of the old pads had a lot of metallic in them.
Yes.
They had a lot of metal in them, the metallic pads.
So they use ceramic instead.
Yeah, that's my understanding of it anyway.
But organic round town would be better because like the ceramic's pretty grabby. I think, as far as I know, that it's a high performance option.
Greg Sprung is saying hybrid composite. Okay.
Right.
I'm not, I'm not up on current breaking material.
Okay, I missed that something there, Mexican spec. Chris Freeman is so that people in New Zealand don't know how to spell. What's that about? I missed something. I know how to spell some words.
They may not know how to spell, but they could do that Haku thing.
Haka.
Haka.
We know how to spell color. You guys
No,
don't
you
know how to
don't.
spell color.
O-U-R, C-O-L-O-U-R.
That's correct. Well
Yeah,
done.
why not throw an E and a silent H in there while you're at it?
And tire.
And
How do you-
T-Y-R-E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, see, it's you guys that don't know how to
No,
spell.
you need a silent W in that one, too.
Third Miss Super Chat. What are we talking about now?
Oh, come on now.
Who's hiding them?
The Dodge Garage, Jamie saying, I used to have a ceramic button clutch behind a Cummins, very grabby, yet it didn't slip. Yeah, that's what I would think it would be grabby. And if you did slip it, wouldn't it be then start to make its own way into the donut and the flywheel?
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's extra hard, then something else is going to go. You've got to have something sacrificial,
Right.
Which is usually the linings, like be it shoes or brake pads or
Right. Exactly.
clutch
Yeah.
facing. Yeah.
Yeah. Every friction device has a sacrificial material. You know what I mean? So it's like when the sacrificial material is harder than or as hard as the other material, then yeah, it's going to be very grabby. And it's going to eventually.
Yeah, ceramic lasts longer than the semis,
But it's
they're
harder
on your rotors. Yeah.
Which is what I was saying.
Yeah, we would run some really hard button clutches back in my rallying days, and they were good, but like you would not drive the car up onto the trailer. Like we trailer the cars around, but it wasn't a good idea to ride the clutch and slide it, getting it up the ramps and onto the trailer.
Okay, wait.
Because it was just too hard on
we
everything.
missed a super chat from Bill McKiska, Mexican
Bill
Spec, is letting us
McKiska?
know. Yes, evidently when you hit the blue button, see, you're so slow hitting the blue button that giant chunks.
There
and
it
we
is.
missed.
There
Bill
it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Bill.
He blamed me for something.
Okay. Would having an X-pipe and crossover headers on the same application cancel each other out or double the good?
Crossover headers, gosh, that's something you don't see.
That's something you don't see, yeah, really,
it's
seriously.
pretty rare.
Now that we cancel each other out.
Well, didn't they end up with? They have two collectors or one on those crossovers? Did it go into one or is it
two?
It went into two collectors.
Well, okay, there's different versions of them. But
right, because I've seen a NASCAR one where it was 8 pipes side by side and this big wide flat collector.
That's
right under the engine.
Okay, but that's not the crossover headers. The crossover headers was a Ford thing. Okay. I mean, I'm sure all the manufacturers did it too, but it took let's say, and I don't remember which cylinders I are, but it took two tubes from the one side and ran them over to the other side collector and vice versa. So they crisscrossed.
It's all to do with the pulsing of the charges, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. So in that case, the balancing has taken place in the
headers.
In the headers.
Yeah.
And the purpose of the X pipe is to balance. So I think no, it's one or the other. I don't think there'd be any.
I don't think you would be double the good. No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
And the crossover headers, they have their minimal value as you don't see them. If things like crossover headers were really the superior way to go, you'd see them everywhere, and you don't.
I think it was nth degree stuff. Wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, trying to get another
state of the art,
0.4 of a mile an hour on a Daytona. Then you make headers like that. 0.4 of a mile an hour, you win the race.
And it's a typical Ford engineer thing. This system is not complicated enough. We have to do something. You're right. It makes sense. Let's change this to and this is how it's Ford. That's they have a better idea.
There you go.
This system is too simple.
running on it.
Okay.
Tony, wasn't that known as the bundle of snakes header system?
Yes.
I have heard of that name. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you give me a minute, I'll remember what application they used it on. I mean, they used it in a few different applications, but there was one that featured it, and it wasn't a Mustang. It was oh God. I'm drawing a blank. I got too much trivia jammed in my head, and sometimes I can't remember the specific. No, it wasn't a Thunderbolt. It was after the Thunderbolt. I think it was. Okay, I think it was a fair. It was a 427 Fairlane application. It was NASCAR intended, and it was. They were playing around with tri-wise at the time, and they were playing around with that. It was a 427. I could be wrong. Somebody probably knows, but I believe it was a 427 Fairlane NASCAR application.
Stephen Vio, Kiwi, have you ever met Calvin at Cartoon? No, I have not.
Guys, Greg and Paul. No, it predates the GT40. No, it doesn't predate the GT40. Oh God. All right, I'm gonna have to look this up.
Tony, do you plan on getting a shipping container for Slaghammer's storage at the new shop?
Oh no. Slaghammer and Bottle Rocket both have the when you walk in the shop. I was there today. I'm getting ready to paint and put up shelves and stuff like that. And they're building on the back right now. No, when you walk in and you go to the left, you look to the left. Bottle Rocket and Slaghammer will both be against that wall, and then the other half of the shop is going to be open for in and out space.
Guy's having trouble getting a ball joint free. He's tried a bunch of stuff, bent a ball joint press, hitting it with a 3-pound hammer. Can't get it loose. Then we've had a couple with a torch to loosen it up, and Avengers also saying use a propellant, like a brake clean, can of brake clean upside down, use a propellant to freeze the ball joint. You can actually buy like an aerosol can freezer stuff that it's back up here somewhere. One of the guys is having trouble like getting a ball joint to pop loose.
Oh, I hate that.
Control arm. Any suggestions on removing a stubborn ball joint from a control arm? Bent a ball joint press, hit it with a 3-pound hammer to shock it while under tension, still no budge.
Are you sure it's not threaded in? Okay, because that happens. There's some applications where the ball joint threads in. There's some where they're riveted in, some where they're bolted in, some where they're twisted and they're screwed in. So make sure you're not dealing with.
I was assuming he was meaning where the taper goes into like the steering arm.
Well, the ball joint in the control arm.
In the control arm.
Ah, yeah. So yeah, it's not in the knuckle. It's
right,
in the control arm. So you may have a screw in. So check that out.
Yeah, that would.
You feel silly, huh?
Yeah, blue button. There we go. Blue button. There we go. Use a pickle fork. Yeah, pickle forks will work. I prefer just knocking it. Well, depending what ball joint we're talking about, as Tony said, they may screw him. But if he's trying to get the taper free, then yeah, bigger hammer.
Yeah, just shock it. Just keep shocking it.
Get a 5-pound hammer if the 3-pound ain't working, and get yourself in a position where you can swing and give it your all.
But yeah, no, but listen, okay? Because I see we should do a video on this.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, that John Drew, I was saying, oh my God, you could press out Mopar ball joints. You can once. Right? Yeah. I don't. So here's the thing. Okay, so if you guys ever have a problem with this, like where you can't undo a ball joint from the steering knuckle or any joint, right? Like a tie rod end or anything like that, you shock it. Okay, you take a hammer, a 3 or 5-pound hammer, right, and you shock it, but you have to do it a certain way. Okay, there can't be any follow through. It's not like you're driving a nail in. Okay, a shock is you have to time it so that you're not actually punching into the thing that you're trying to shock, but you're actually shocking it. So there's no weight behind it. It's because you're trying to vibrate it. You're trying to vibrate. You're trying to hit it. You're trying to make it go boing like that, and that's how it loosens itself. So when you go to shock something, you don't hit it like you're beating a nail into it, or you try to break a rock. You shock it with a light wrist, and bang like that. Like you whip the hammer at it, and that shocks it loose.
But you do have to give it some. You do.
Yeah. There's got to be some speed to it. Speed, but no follow through.
It's always funny watching the guy that you've told to do that to, and he's trying to do it, and he's like just hitting it like no harder and a bit harder, and eventually it's like after they've hit it like 63 times, likely it's like, hey, yeah, it pops loose. So yeah, you really got to give it some. You think you're going to smash something, but you won't.
Okay.
Pinch bolt holding it in. Yeah, okay, that's a fair
question.
That
happens
John
too.
M. Yep.
But I would think that would be obvious to him at this point. After you struggle with something for a long time, you say, "Oh, wait, there's a thing here."
Why is there a bolt here? Yeah. There we
go. Okay.
Mark.
Says Mark Smith.
Caesar Panic.
Yes.
Caesar Panic. Uncle Tony, I have a 73 Roadrunner 340, same as yours. I'm looking for a new torsion bar.
Since they are longer than 72 models, can you recommend who sells for replacement? I cannot. I don't know. Like I have the set that's in my car, and I have a spare set in the shed. I don't know who makes them. I couldn't tell you.
Sorry, I laughed and I just read the comment below.
Which one was that?
Glancing
blow
and smoke
your help on the forehead.
Oh, that'd be.
I'm telling you,
I just put him in the corner and give him a couple of hours to wake up.
It's all in the wrist. It's all in the wrist. You know, you hit it, bang, bang. You can just beat on it all day and it won't budge, right? But you put that looseness in there and you just go bang like that. You know, you whip the hammer at it and it 3 or 4 shots and it falls apart. It's not the force, it's the vibration that breaks them.
Holy Carmines, what about E85 as a race fuel and the benefits of using cheaper fuel?
I don't use the E85. I'm not down on E85. I just don't use it because it's not available everywhere all the time. So everything I build for myself runs on pump gas. You know, and so for me, it's either pump gas, meaning I pull up to any gas station and it's what's in the tank, and I can just like that and fill it up, or it's nitromethane. I don't want to deal with any of the in-between stuff. So, but that's just me. And so because of that, I have no experience with E85.
Chris Freeman, will doing the live stream at the new shop result in a longer or shorter drive for Kiwi? That's a good question.
Oh, longer.
Longer?
Yes.
Wonderful. I get to drive that blue thing a bit more.
That's my like once a week drive of that thing is coming over here.
Well, really?
Yeah.
Well, the new place.
I get jazzed up for the show, like doing 100 mile an hour down 840.
Well, you just stay on 840, and the new place is just literally a quarter mile off the exit. It's closer.
Okay.
It's closer.
So it's like the next exit, or
no?
How much further down?
About 8 to 10 miles from.
Oh wow, that's a little bit further.
You'll love it. Yeah, but with your car, you cover that in like 45 seconds.
There you go. That's true.
You know?
E85 sucks if you store it for a bit. Okay. E85 is terrible if you're going to have the vehicle sitting for any amount of time. Hydroscopic. Okay, that's a problem.
Actually, it's hygroscopic.
Huh.
Let's see. Anthony Pern, I remember on my 75 Caddy, I couldn't get the ball joint apart to save my life, and the guy in the shop was trying to tell me to do that little flick with the wrist. I was beating it like I was on a chain gang. Yeah, right? See, that's the thing, right? When you're an old timer, you start to learn all of those tricks. That's the difference between, like, you watch an old timer get in there and just like beat things apart, yak them back together, and like it's nothing. It's because over time we learn all those little tricks and shortcuts.
Mark said, "Great job on the last name." Well, yeah, that was a bit of a guess, I'll be honest. So it's further away, but Kiwi will get there fast. Well, maybe not too much longer. Jim, yes, it was a metric pound I was referring to. Yes, indeed, it was a metric pound.
Go to a 5 metric pound hammer.
I won the war. My side won the war. I refuse to recognize these communist numbers. So
here we go again. Kiwi, Tony couldn't make it through the show. Blamed you for skipping the Super Champs. Yeah, well, you know, what you going to do?
I have to.
I got
I got to
broad-
throw somebody under a bus.
I got broad shoulders. I can take it.
Yeah.
Off to make guitar noises. See you guys. Dead Dog Garage. Yeah, Merry Christmas,
Awesome.
mate.
So Jamie does a live every Sunday night, opposite hours. He's trying to put me out, okay? But he's trying. A Merry Christmas to you and yours, Jamie. By the way, he does a live every Sunday night, opposite hours, so you guys can bounce back and forth. And actually, I got other friends who do a live every Wednesday night, opposite hours too. So Shane Bolito, the Slant Daily Garage, and those guys are on over at I'm sorry, Dallas Brown. I'm sorry.
Oh.
See, head injuries. I've had many head injuries. So Shane Polito and Dallas Brown do a tech talk show on Wednesday night, also on Shane's channel, Slant Daily Garage. So you guys get bored over here, go over there, tell them we said hi, and come back and whatever.
So back to the ball joint, Tim Page. He's got the knuckle off. It's just pressing the ball joint out. So you were right on the money.
86.
Pressing ball joint on an 86 F-150 two-wheel drive.
Okay, dumb question, Tim, because I was just about to pick up my phone and Google how to remove the ball joint on an 86 F-150. Did you do that? Because, I don't know. I was about to do it myself, but that would tell you, what's holding it in. If you're trying to press it and it's not moving. And I have seen people with the Mopars, I've seen people press them and just literally tear the threads right out. So
wow.
Google it, bro. Google it. It's your friend. It's a lot smarter than I am. Uh-oh. We have a Canadian super chat. Thank you, Dada.
The 904 and the 75 Valiant I just bought is whining like a Ford power steering in gears or in neutral. Pump failure or too high pressure. How to fix?
Pump's on its way out, bro. Nothing you gonna do about that. Time to pull the tranny and suck the pump out the front of it. It's an easy job. It's a pain in the ass job, but it's an easy job. Yeah, the only thing inside an automatic transmission that's going to give you that noise inside of a 904 that's going to give you that kind of noise is the pump.
Whining like a Ford power steering pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to admit they do that.
Why? That's like such a trademark thing.
It is a trademark thing.
Like generation after generation from the 50s through today, right? Why?
Hey, you remind me that Chevelle we were looking at today.
Yeah.
It was making like an odd noise when he drove it in. It's like, that's weird. And he goes, oh yeah, the fan on the alternator had the little fan blade that's behind the pulley had broken loose.
Okay.
The noise that made was unbelievable.
I'm sure.
They keep building better roads and they just keep making dumber Nissan drivers. Anthony Perna's had trouble with the same ball joint, getting that out. Yeah, Buddy Carafano, just buy a new controller
with the ball joint already installed.
I nearly said that. Yeah, I really didn't like. And it's a time and money exercise. If you're doing it yourself, certainly you can save some money. But from a shop point of view, if you're
from a shop point of view,
if you're going to spend an hour and a half just getting the ball joint out and back in, that's probably the price of an arm, and at least it's all new.
Yeah, but where's the sport in that? You know what I mean? Where's the sense of accomplishment?
Well, there's not, but it's also about looking after the customer's pocketbook.
Yes, but he may be after the actual,
it sounds
challenge.
Like, he sounds like he's doing it himself. Yeah, so then that's definitely a cheaper way to do it.
One Car Garage. Hey Tony, have you ever watched My Friend Pete? Yes, I have. Another old school YouTuber. You guys would get along great. Should do. The problem is if I get on a live with My Friend Pete. See, I have a lot of My Friend Pete in me. Okay, I mean a lot of it. So I really relate to this guy. So I think he would be a really bad influence on me. I think it wouldn't take more than like 10 or 15 minutes of us being together on a live before I think to levels that I haven't seen in decades. So you know what I mean? I do watch him. I think he's great. Kathy can't stand him. Kathy's like, get this freaking nut job off my TV. I'm like, no, he's cool. So yeah, I like them. I like them a lot.
Huh. Tim Page, again on with the ball joint. Ford twin I-beam, so no conventional control arm. Oh, so you're trying to get the ball joint out of an I-beam? Huh.
86 has still got the twin I-beam? No.
I don't know. Johnny's saying that ball joint has a C-clip holding it in. That will make it hard to press out.
86 F-150 still has a twin
I think they
I-beam?
might actually. I had a mid-80s one in not long ago, and that was a twin I-beam.
Are you sure?
No, but I think it's possible. Junk removal, Orange County, California. Are you familiar with the Chinese-made 351 Cleveland box hit in the market, primarily Australia? I hear they may hit the US market. To me, these would be junk. Yeah, you're right. They could be junk, and they could be quite good. The Chinese do get their manufacturing gets a bit of a bad rap because you hear about all the bad stuff. If whoever's ordering them, whoever's importing them into Australia, like if they're speccing the blocks, they're speccing the material, the type of iron they're using, then the Chinese are quite capable of making very good stuff. But if you go to the Chinese and say, please make me this as cheaply as you can, man, they will make it very cheap. So you get what you ask for. Like I say, if whoever's doing this venture with the Cleveland blocks, if they've specced good quality product, then that's what they'll get. The Chinese have no problem making good stuff. It's just the majority of people want it cheap. Like John Cossey. He's very well known for his big block Fords and Boss Ford engines that he builds, making 1,000 horsepower and stuff like that. All his blocks he sources out of China, but he has a criteria for what he wants. He tells them what he wants. It's high nickel cast iron, and like he specs the block, and that's what he gets. And it's also why his blocks are quite expensive, but they'll make 1,000 horsepower and stay together. So,
okay. So, a couple of things. First, John M is saying that that ball joint has a C-clip holding it in, and man, was I wrong about what year do you think they stopped with the twin I-beam suspension?
I was going to say 89.
Oh, twin I-beams and twin traction beams were utilized on various F-Series trucks until 2002.
Good grief, really?
I didn't know that. I thought that they were done around in the late 70s. They stopped with that. But see, I'm not a Ford truck guy. You know what I mean?
No, clearly I'm not either.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And now that he says about the C-clip holding it in, that rings a bell.
Right.
So that's probably
Yeah, you might have a circlip in there that's buried in dirt and stuff and not seeing it.
Andrew Button, a Cossey Boss would be great for that blue Cougar. No. He's talking about that blue Cougar that we did the video on. You did the video on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You imagine 1,000 horsepower Cossey engine in there.
Twist it right now.
It'd be like, Ooh, you wouldn't even need a rotisserie, would you? Just stand on the gas and there you go.
Holy car mods. I'm looking to start a YouTube channel. Is there anything you guys can recommend? I'm looking to do an old car survival type of content and race related stuff. What would you recommend? You're cutting your teeth in YouTube now.
What would I recommend? Well, early on I did a lot of short videos, just rapid fire stuff, like every day. And then as you get monetized, you kind of need to get a little bit longer content. It's really kind of got to experiment and just see what who likes what your audience wants. And trust me, I'm very much still figuring that out. Like this Chevelle video that I did today is it's really just a walk around the '69 Chevelle, but it's doing really well.
It's a Chevelle.
It's a Chevelle.
So people see Chevelle, they click it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so a lot of the people that watch me like watching me fabricate stuff, cutting parts off cars and welding stuff up and making it again or changing suspension. And you've kind of got to figure out where your niche is really.
And I think there's also an element of whether people like you or not, you know, and that's just a kind of a lottery, really. Like all you can do is get on there and be you, and if people like you, they'll watch. And obviously, you're not going to please all the people all the time, but yeah, you got to, if you've got that. I don't know, it sounds a bit egotistical with that sort of it factor, like you, like with the way you come across on YouTube, you're quite polarizing. Like you've got your opinions, and Tony is more than willing to share those opinions with you.
Yeah,
And
I may be wrong.
And their opinions formed over what 45, 50 years of experience. So you know, he's not, you know, that's his experience he's sharing with you, and you know, you either like the way someone presents something or you don't. So you just got to do your thing, see how it goes, and people will or won't like it. The viewers will decide.
So build on what he was saying, right? Post every day. Post something every day. Put something out there every day, and try to cover as many different grounds as possible. And make them short videos. Make them 1 to 3 minutes. Don't go past that when you're first starting, because people will not give a chance. If they don't know you, they're not going to click on a 10-minute video. They'll give you a chance if it's only a minute or two. You know what I mean? And so you're going to start. You're going to increase your odds of getting clicked on with shorter videos. Put them out every day, because the YouTube algorithm respects that. And if they see you put out consistently every day, they'll put your videos out. And the most important thing, right? Before you shoot a video, when you have an idea for a video, say to yourself, does this have a value? Is somebody going to get something out of this? Now, the value could be educational, it could be entertainment, it could be something funny, it could be whatever it is. But does it have value? Because the thing I see most YouTubers do, the mistakes they make, is that they treat it like a vlog. And if people don't know you, you know what I mean? They don't care that you're making an addition on your chicken coop or whatever. They just don't care. They don't care that you've added wheel spacers to your car. They don't care. It's only after they get to know you that they'll start to care about stuff like that. So when you're just starting out, leave your personal stuff out of it. Nobody cares. Just offer something of some sort of value, right? And then there you go. And it's up to you to determine what value it is that you want to present to people. The value I try to present to people is experience, right? I've been there, I've done it, I've seen goats fuck in the marketplace, and so I'm going to show you, I'm going to try to enlighten you on what I've learned so far. I could be wrong, but you know what I mean? So you have to figure out what your value is, what you can offer the viewers, and then do that. I hope that helps, bro. Good luck with your channel.
I think Beagle Bob's having a little crack there.
I thought his advice would be to have merch too. You would think, right?
I think that'd be a good idea. I don't know why nobody's ever thought of that. Like, that's really good.
Hey, holy car mods, you're doing a Ranchero? What year Ranchero, bud? I'm a bit of a Ranchero fan, actually. So
he's a Ranchero freak. He's got Ranchero pictures all over his bathroom. He's got his Ranchero tattoo across his chest. You want to show them your Ranchero tattoo?
No, it's in a place where it can't be seen in public. So yeah.
Roll up your windows. Roll up your windows.
Roll up your windows.
I'll see you on down the road.
Doug's maintenance shop. I'm still in the fail forward mode on my channel. I find the editing to be the most demanding, and with a full-time overtime job, it just ain't easy. My biggest challenge is getting good with the cameras. Yeah, that's valid, mate. I feel your pain.
Now I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Editing is overrated. Okay, and good cameras are overrated. I'm not saying these aren't good things to have, but they're all overrated. The thing that counts is what's in the video. If it's an interesting video, people will overlook every flaw you could possibly imagine. Kathy edits my videos because I stutter. I don't do it when I'm doing it live, but when I'm making a video, for some reason, I stutter, I misspeak, I drift off into weird places. And so Kathy cleans them up in that respect. But that's it. That's all the editing that we do. So editing is overrated. If you have something profound, nobody cares. If there's a shadow here or a thing there, you're not TV. Okay, don't worry about it. And you've seen this firsthand, right?
Yeah.
You know, we shoot videos together, and he's like, because he used to shoot videos for the TV guys, and he's like, you know, well, where's where's the boom mic? Where's the light
Well,
guy?
yeah.
Where's the catering truck?
I
And I'm like,
didn't
I got a fucking stick. You know what I mean? We make a video.
selfie stick. Yeah,
Right.
that's
So,
the top of my head, Tony. Why are you filming the top of my head?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
and as it turns out, we get more views with me and my fucking stick than they get with their boom mics and everything else.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Honestly, I think people just appreciate some honesty, just how it is. Like if you do a stumble or a fumble or you mishit something or you know on the
Yeah.
video, just leave it in. Like there's so much fakery now, and a lot of the higher end TV shows, it's just full of bling and fluff and just
Yep.
fake stuff. Like no one ever makes a mistake. Like I was, well, I was welding a 4-link together on the back of that Cougar, and I had it all spaced out, and I made a mistake. I was off by an inch, so I just left that in the video. I was off by an inch. I had to unpick the little tacks and slide it over, but it wasn't a big deal. But really, the message on that was that, like, I measured it. I looked at the tape measure. My eyes saw it read correctly, and then when I took 5 steps backwards and looked at it, I thought, hang on, no, that's not right. So like just and people seem to appreciate that honesty, integrity, like because I make mistakes, you make mistakes. Everybody makes
This car
mistakes.
behind me, I missed by an inch. When I mounted the body on the chassis there, I missed by an inch, so the car sits a little like this, And people they're like, so did you tune it that way? Is that part of tuning? No, I fucked up. I welded it together an inch off, so the car sits on an angle. I own up I go out of my. I don't sanitize anything. I scrub all the time, and I leave it. There was one time we were shooting a honing video, right? And at the end of the video, I inadvertently, when I stuck the hone in there, I was busy talking to the camera and wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and one of the stones was flipped, and I was like, Kathy's like, you got to take that out. You got to take that out. The troll's going to be all over you. I'm like, no, I screwed up. It's okay. You know what I mean? Everybody screws up. And if anybody's going to come down on you for screwing up, well, they're a lost cause. Let them do what they're going to do. Good evening, Joe's Muscle Car Garage. Van Little, why is there no love for the van culture of the 70s? Oh, bro, because we've gone too far off. We've gone too far to the dark side. You know what I mean?
That's true. They were just the rage, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just really see them anymore, do you?
Culture has gone just too far to the dark side, and that kind of thing just doesn't resonate with anybody anymore. Fast cars, muscle cars, hot rods, and stuff do because they're angry, and people are angry. You know what I mean? So they get that. The van thing was just so happy-go-lucky and like so, and you can't do it today. That's why there's no space for that culture.
Man, have you seen the time?
1:57. 1 hour and 57 minutes. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot. And look, you barely got any likes at all.
Oh,
They don't like you.
190.
They pay you lip service.
Hoosier Garage has a cool van, apparently.
Oh, they're out there, but he's asking why hasn't the culture come up?
Yeah. The van theme was to get baked and nail someone's sister.
Yes, while listening to like the happy music that was around in the day, and it's just and the colors and the shag and all of that stuff, right? It was a different time that just doesn't resonate today. Today is, like I said, society's just gone so far to the dark side that culture is invisible to people.
Dada LeBreton, why is it so hard to find casting numbers on Mopars? Why is it so hard to find casting numbers on Mopars?
There are casting numbers everywhere and lists for casting numbers. You can find, please, it's ridiculous. The reams of information that's out there.
Restoring a 70s van would be a challenge as well. Yes, it would.
See, and okay, Joe K is saying, okay, there's a van life thing. So that's big, right? But even that's run its course because people realize living in your van is just not, you know what I mean? It's like the nomadic lifestyle. It's only good for so long. You can only shower at the gym so many times before it's like, I give up on life. So,
Tony, any experience with shop painting torsion bars or other car parts? Do Do tell. Yeah, I've done a little. Well, yeah, we used to shop paint the conrods in our old rally car engines, and stress relieving them, and still it didn't. We used to push it pretty hard on stock rods, but one eventually did break.
I would think on a torsion bar, you don't want to do anything like that. You don't want to change its temper in any way, because its temper is its essence. You know what I mean? You don't want to do anything like that. So just leave it alone. Don't fuck with torsion bars.
My question would be, why do you want to shop paint the torsion bar? Like, what are you hoping to achieve? You try to make it softer, harder, last longer. We did it on conrods to remove the little stress points in the surface, to try and help, give it a little bit longer life, and a little bit higher RPM range. But torsion bar, I'm not sure why you'd want to do it.
John was saying Foghat and Ted Nugent. Don't forget Deep Purple, man.
A van, I think of air horns and CBs, yeah. Fast and Furious Van Culture Edition.
Zero saying all that van culture is still here, started here, lives here. See, I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I knew it started there, but I didn't know you were still doing it.
There being LA, like California, yeah.
Oh yeah, ever see the Japanese Decatur? The Decatur vans are called Dodgy bands. Dodgy bands.
Oh, I've seen that.
Have you seen that?
Insane, aren't they?
That's crazy. I love that.
Right.
I love that.
It's like literally cartoon characters, isn't it? In the vans.
Yep. Yep. Dodgy bands.
Mark DeYoung, I like to find me a good she-gagging wagon to restore. She-gagging wagon. Or is he meant to say, is he trying to say shagging or she-gagging? I don't know.
Probably both.
Jury's probably both. Yeah. There's people asking tons of questions. They're rolling up fast.
Mark's 5. How long would an aluminum small block Chevy with 500 to 600 horsepower last before the rods would have to be replaced from stretching? Good question. It's going to depend on the rod. Different rod manufacturers, different grades of rod. That's not a simple question to ask. You want to ask that question to whoever made those rods.
Mike Carhole, need an old Vista Cruiser. Yeah, they were pretty cool.
I think, bro, we're over 2 hours. Do you believe
we
that?
are over 2 hours.
We're going to miss Christmas. People are going to be like, where are those assholes? They're still online. It's Christmas. Yeah, we have to go. So, Kiwi, what's the latest thing on your channel?
The latest thing on my channel is that Chevelle. I'll tell you what we did shoot today, and I haven't put it together yet, is we did a video of that 63 Oldsmobile. Steve's one. So we had it up on the rack. Like, we wheeled the Chevelle out, and Steve was there, and it's like, bring that in, and we'll just throw it on the rack.
You're going to take it for a cruise, all right?
No.
Because I want to go for a cruise.
Yeah, no, we're going to do that too.
Okay.
But we just had a kind of a look and a walk around, and it's got some insane features on it. It's bizarre.
Dude, you could do a video. I would watch a video on those taillights, on the taillight lenses. I would watch a whole video on that.
Yeah. So that's coming up. That's probably sometime in the next week. We'll put that down.
But you can't see it if you don't subscribe to him.
Yeah, you do have to subscribe.
His channel. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Kiwi Christmas cookie. Dr. Art gave me some Christmas cookies today. Dr. Art is.
You've been doing well at cookies, chocolates.
Yes, yeah, I'm gonna get fat. Doc, I should have brought you one, but I didn't know if he would even really want me to give you one. You know what I'm saying?
I think he would.
But yeah, Dr. Art actually makes cookies. He's really good. They're really old school chocolate chip cookies.
Kiwi's Krispy Kremes. Well, try Classics and Customs. That'll actually get you there. What's his channel's name? Kiwi Classics and Customs, John Crook.
And cannolis. And carrots.
Kiwi's Christmas Chrysler cookies. Oh, yes. Good Lord.
So yes, go over there and sub to his channel and buy his merch. And
Oh, Zero's put the link up. There you go,
yes,
guys.
there you go, Zero. Okay, so so you've got that coming up on your channel.
Yep, the Oldsmobile's coming up on the channel. We got more of the white fastback and
Oh wait, hang
cutting
on.
quarters off. And
Did you subscribe? Did you? No, seriously, I'm looking at you. Did you subscribe to this channel? Come on, we'll wait. Zero, put the link. Don't say anything. Let them go over there. Okay, they're following the link.
following the link. Here we go.
Okay, they're clicking on it.
Yeah, the subscriber numbers are going up. Look at that. They just went up by 4.
One more. Let's do this live. Come on, come on. One of you guys who isn't subscribed to him, come on. Let's make that number go up. You have to refresh it. Yep, we're 2. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
You guys are
Yeah.
awesome. I love you guys. I really do.
Yeah, that's awesome. That video, that Chevelle video is doing well. That's the second highest ranking to date of all my videos. So that's pretty darn good. It must be a good video. I must have been having a good day or something.
How many
Or
does
a
it
good
have?
product. 2.1, 2,100 views in the last 3 hours.
That's so quaint.
Quaint. Smart ass.
Yeah.
He gets that in like 4.5 minutes. But, you got to start small.
Yes, very, very small.
That's what I told my wife anyway.
So yeah, you guys we've already done the sub to his thing. Our awesome mods, Ari, Fubar, Zero, Mexican Spec. Guys, thank you as always.
Thank you all.
So are you guys down for New Year's Eve? Are you down for New Year's Eve?
I'll have to check with the missus, and I'm not sure whether we've got a party to go to or what we're doing on New Year's Eve, but that might be a go, because it'll be 7 o'clock again.
Yeah, we'll go on at
7
like
o'clock?
7 o'clock and we'll just hang out.
Okay. I'll let you know as soon as I can.
All right, you guys are down. The mods,
Probably.
Ari, Fubar, Zero.
It will be New Year's Eve though, so I will be drinking bourbon. So I'm not taking any responsibility for anything I say.
Yeah, that's all right. I was going to try some of the Flacco stuff.
Flacco stuff?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's that zombie drug. You ever see the ones like in Philly and they're all going like this? It's Flacco, man. I'm gonna give that a shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing we're doing it remotely. Not sure I want to see that in person.
So yeah, we'll have a get together on Sunday night, New Year's Eve. Now Christmas Eve is this Sunday. We've got the family over, so we're not going to be doing our normal live on Sunday, but we're either going to pop on Saturday or Christmas night, right? So which will be Monday. So I'm not really sure yet, but either way, right? Everybody probably won't see you by then. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. If you don't celebrate Christmas, or you just, solstice, whatever it is that you celebrate, I hope you have the absolute best one that you could possibly have. You don't care if they do anything, do you? You're cold-hearted, bro. You're cold.
I hope they all have a good time. I hope they get lots of car parts under their Christmas tree for their projects. And yeah, have a good one, guys. It's a good time of year to just like take a breath and remember family, so that they're kind of important,
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it's not all about cars all day, every day, is it?
Well, you can mix in cars and dogs and motorcycles and family. It's all
family in that order.
Well, to me, they all blend together.
Oh, okay.
It's all
Fair
one
enough.
world,
Fair
right?
enough.
So, and anyway, guys, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Yeah, and super chats. Everybody contributed super chats. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And we equally appreciate everybody who just comes along and puts it up our nonsense for a couple hours every Wednesday night. Thank you so much, right? I mean, we really do appreciate it.
It is summer in New Zealand. Someone asked if they have to do a shot for every super chat we missed, and the answer is yes, you do.
Yes.
That you have to do that before you can actually watch the next live.
Yes. That sounds like Zeducation. You ever watch Zeducation?
No, I never watched
it. That's a great channel. Did you guys ever watch Zeducation? Or his brother? What the hell's his brother's name? Oh God, I can't think.
I don't know what his name is, let alone his brother's name.
The Zed and okay, I can't remember his name. Yeah, great channel. He does memes. He just does all these memes.
Zed is good. Someone else liked him too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Dogs on motorcycles racing against cars. There you go.
Eating cheese. All right, guys. I'm gonna hit
See
these
you,
various
guys.
buttons and make it end now.
Have fun.
There it goes. Ready? And wait. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye bye.